William Pitt, or Pitt the Younger, was Britain's Prime Minister for much of the war with revolutionary France. Fearing the spread of revolution to Britain, Pitt was responsible for a series of measures designed to suppress radical societies calling for political reform. This included the trial of Thomas Paine in 1792 for seditious libel, prompted by the publication of the second part of The Rights of Man earlier that year. Pitt described this as a monstrous doctrine under which the weak and ignorant were seduced to overturn the government, law, property, security, religion, order, and everything valuable in this country. The return of a guilty verdict in Paine's trial paved the way for further arrests, culminating in the treason trials in 1794 of the reformers Thomas Hardy, John Horne Tooke, and John Thelwall, all of whom were acquitted. Pitt also suspended habeas corpus in 1794, meaning radicals could be imprisoned without charge, and introduced the Treasonable Practices Act and the Seditious Meetings Act in 1795. The first measure made it illegal to imagine, invent, desire, or intend the death of the monarch. The second limited the size of public meetings to no more than 50 people. These were followed up with the Combinations Acts of 1799 and 1800, which made any association illegal, regardless of whether it had been formed for political purposes or to seek improved pay and conditions from employers. Despite this record, for which he is better known today, Pitt had been one of Parliament's leading advocates of reform. While he never supported universal male suffrage or annual parliaments, he was broadly in favour of removing MPs from corrupt, rotten boroughs and creating up to 100 new seats for respectable county constituencies and London boroughs. Pitt made several attempts to introduce measures for parliamentary reform, including one while he was Prime Minister in 1785, but the King, along with most MPs, was opposed. They felt the existing system returned a perfectly functional parliament, argued few outside London actually wanted reform, and feared change might lead to radical reform in the future. Pitt was responsible for one major reform during the war with France, the 1800 Act of Union with Ireland, which dissolved the Irish Parliament and added 100 Irish MPs to Westminster. This was prompted by rising sectarianism, rebellion, and even a failed French invasion. As an inducement to agree to the Act of Union, the Irish had been promised Catholic emancipation, which would have allowed Catholics to sit as MPs and hold high office. This was a reform too far for King George III, who felt such a move violated his coronation oath to uphold the Protestant constitution. Pitt resigned over the issue in 1801, and Catholics would have to wait until 1829 to sit in Parliament.